High five. Oh, hey, fivers. To say I would be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. Yeah. I mean, it did go. It went twice, but I guess we cannot get past the laws of thermodynamics. It's crazy how much this melted just from the pressure. And the difference in these bushings, this is essentially great. And if you slide that on, it's gonna roll. Look at that. It's still just, it spins freely. So the graphite powder works really great. The problem is when you introduce a ton of pressure, you're gonna get a failure like this. The plastic's actually gonna weld itself to itself, and then you're gonna have a bushing failure, and that sucks. Bearings are definitely gonna help, because when we add a bearing to either side, it's going to reduce the friction. So the bearing is going to act as the area and where it can slip the easiest. And so we're not going to get this rubbing of parts that are plastic. What we're going to get is smooth rolling of the bearings. And man, that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. I know the video is going to get these naysayers on it that are going to tell me that, you know, I should have put bearings in it from the beginning, and I should have done this, or I should have done that. And, you know, no. So the goal was to get it as 3D printed as possible. The goal was to see if these plastic bushings and these plastic bearings and these plastic bits would work. PLA plastics. And if you look at it, other than the fasteners, the electronics, a piece of metal connecting the servo to the steering, this sheet metal, we're all plastic. And oh, excuse me. The plastics bushings for the front tires, they work great. And they're still rolling, and that graphite powder is going to work. Did we bend it? Oh my gosh, is there a bend? There's even a slight bend in this. Yeah. Okay. All we need are 2 bearings, and we need bearings within the outer diameter of the axle and the inner diameter of the motor mount, or the axle mount, this axle mount. That's all we need. And then it'll go. Glad we had a good day to run this, because that was not that long ago. It was a sunny day, got some Little Caesars pizza, everybody came out, it was a lot of fun. We went and caught some beer afterwards, and then the next day, rained like crazy. I know everyone's gonna ask, is it coming back to Murph? And maybe? It's a bear to ship this thing. It was like $400 and some odd to ship it in pieces before, each way to Murph. And I don't know if I could do it again. Maybe if someone was driving, maybe if the Protopasta people are driving out to Murph, I could have them take it. Maybe I could drive. I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. I'm really surprised this held up. I did use some 3D gloop in these joints to reattach these because they had broken off. I think it'd be great if this and this were just one solid piece. I think if I eventually just gloop those together, I think it would make a really solid connection, and I think that those pieces would actually work a lot better. If you look at this worked great. This worked great. It was so impressive how well this worked. There's so many teeth and so much surface area for the belt to grab. Of course it was going to work. A lot of people worried that the belt wasn't going to be wide enough. It was going to shred. Something was going to happen. And the reason it shredded here, is that an extra one? Or let's see, I was gonna take a look. Yeah, there's a piece where the belt shredded right there. And that's because once the axle was pulled close enough to where the belt couldn't be tightly gripped around the motor, then it just acted like, well, you know, sandpaper, just chewing away at the teeth because it wasn't actually tightly attached. It was just there. Man, well, I hope that was fun. I know it took forever to do it, and I know we came to a conclusion. It wasn't the most awesome conclusion, but we did come to a conclusion for this, and now we can start to think about adding non-plastic parts to it, and those non-plastic parts will become more and more as we want it to go faster and faster. Because once we add bearings, well, maybe we add a carbon fiber or metal axle, or maybe go-kart tires, or maybe we reinforce the front struts to make sure that they can withstand speed, or the front spoiler wind dam thing to be able to keep it closer to the ground, or maybe this gets lightened, or maybe the bottom becomes a reinforced fiberglass. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think the radio controlled land speed record is a couple hundred miles an hour, I think. And there's no reason, I mean, we have 2 of these Castle motors. There's no reason we couldn't lighten the load and drive it to at least be crazy, stupid fast, and maybe take it to some salt flats and run it. I don't know. I don't know. Well, there you go. I hope this was enjoyable. I had a good time running it. I felt so bad out there. Everybody came out, but everybody said, hey, it ran, it was great. And I'll take their word for it. Thanks for your support, as always. Man, I gotta go get on a plane. I'll see you in the next one.